Good morning, Ms. Sanchez.
Good morning, sir.
Ma'am, you were charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Christmas lights, drinking, and an argument that turns violent. That's how this one starts. According to the complainant, the defendant began pulling his hair. He fell, and she allegedly started kicking him while he was already down. Then she fled the scene on foot before police even arrived. This is a 5-year relationship that just hit a courtroom in the worst possible way. Let's see how the judge handles it.
Defendant were in a dating relationship for 5 years. On November 27th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a residential home in Harris County, Texas, in reference to a family assault in progress. The officer contacted the complainant on the phone and could hear him screaming in pain, telling the defendant to get off of him and to stop pulling his hair. Officer asked the complainant if the defendant was still assaulting him, and the complainant responded yes. Defendant fled the scene on foot when officers arrived. The complainant gave the direction of travel to the officer. The complainant stated he and the defendant had been putting up Christmas lights after drinking, and an argument ensued. The complainant said the defendant began attacking him by pulling his hair, causing pain. The complainant fell to the ground and the defendant proceeded with kicking him. The complainant said that when the defendant drinks, she gets aggressive and wants to fight. Officers returned the defendant to scene and she would not cooperate, was yelling obscenities at the complainant, and was acting belligerent.
Okay. Ms. Sanchez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I will randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you don't have anyone to pony up $5,000 to $10,000 on the bond for you, guess what happens? You'll be stuck like Chuck until this case is over with. And I'm going to tell you, it takes damn near 9 months just to get a 911 tape. Behave while you're out there in the free world, or I will take the free world away from you.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Tell me, what do you do for a living?
I'm a recruiter, skilled trades, and then operations coordinator.
And here's something a lot of people don't realize. Violating a protective order in this jurisdiction is treated as one of the most serious misdemeanor charges you can pick up. The judge calls it almost as bad as it gets for a misdemeanor. That's not an exaggeration for effect. That's the actual legal weight behind these orders. One violation, and the consequences escalate fast.
You have an income.
Not at this moment. I recently got laid off in October.
Okay. I have an application already on file. Do you want a court-appointed lawyer, ma'am?
At this time, yes, sir. If you could, please.
We need to talk about the complaining witness.
So Conrad has spoken to the complainant and he would like no contact as well as a residency restriction, Judge.
Okay. You heard that, Ms. Sanchez. There's a protective order that has been issued in this case. The protective order was issued on November 28th. I would suggest you get to know it. If you violate the protective order, they can and will file a violation of a protective order against you, and that is the capital murder of misdemeanors. It's one of the worst cases you could pick up over here.
Oh, yes,
Do you
sir.
understand? So
Yes,
don't
sir.
have any contact with them,
That's not a problem, sir.
be in possession of weapons, and don't go back to the house listed on the protective order, which is at the Woodlands West.
That is not a problem, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to have you sign a receipt with Ramona. We'll have you get with Felicia for your bond conditions, and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box while we
Yes,
find your lawyer. Please. Do you mind filing no contact and no weapons, please?
Yes, Judge. And did you also say no alcohol or?
Oh, you know what? Don't worry about it, because since she's monitored, don't even worry about it. Right.
All right, Sir Tucci on page 22.
You saw that.
S-E-R. Did I pronounce it
Find
close?
it?
Yes, I did. Okay.
Okay.
Give me a second. Let me see. Morning, sir.
Judge, does Ms. Sanchez have any documents to sign?
With me.
Yeah, she will with Felicia. She's getting monitored.
Okay.
Now this detail is wild. Officers find this guy passed out behind the wheel, foot still on the brake, car and drive, in the middle of a moving lane of traffic. He wakes up and immediately admits he'd been drinking. Then, on the way to processing, he gets sick in the patrol car. 6 out of 6 on the eye test, 8 out of 8 on the walk and turn. Every single sobriety indicator failed completely.
All right, so you are Justin Sertucci.
Sir.
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On November 27th of 2024, officers were dispatched to a person down call at the intersection of Bagby and Elgin Street. Officers observed the defendant's motor vehicle stopped in a moving lane of traffic. HFD advised that when they arrived earlier, the defendant was in the driver's seat behind the wheel with his foot on the brake and the vehicle in drive. HFD EMT further advised that when the driver woke up, he admitted to having been drinking. Officers observed a strong odor of alcoholic beverage and glassy eyes on the defendant. SFSTs were conducted, 6 out of 6 HGN, 8 out of 8 walk and turn, 4 out of 4 one-leg stand. On the way to JPC, the defendant threw up in the patrol vehicle. DICs were read but refused, and a search warrant for blood was signed and executed. He does have an eligible driver's license, Judge. He doesn't have any prior DWIs, but he has juvenile history.
Okay. Mr. Sertucci, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have valid liability insurance in your name? You have car insurance.
Sir.
All right. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using alcohol or illegal drugs, your bond will be revoked. You will go to jail. No more PR bonds. You understand?
Sir.
Okay, this next case has a genuinely strange setup. Officers are investigating an unrelated fatal accident when this driver comes flying toward the blocked road and blows through a barricade. They had to use flashlights and shouted commands just to get her to stop. And then it gets worse. A breath test comes back at 0.086 and 0.084, both over the legal limit, and there's a handgun sitting in the center console. Drop a flushed face if the timing of where this happened got you too.
I see that you have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, we will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with Mr. Saman. He'll tell you when you have to come back to court. For now, I'll have you sign a receipt with Ramona. We'll have you get with your bond conditions with Felicia, and then we'll have you take a seat in the back. Wait for Mr. Omar. All right? Please.
Every single one of these defendants just got hit with the same condition. No alcohol, no drugs, random testing, and a clear warning. Violate it once, and there are no more PR bonds. That phrase keeps repeating throughout this docket, and it's not just legal language. It's the court drawing a hard line after this many serious allegations stacking up in one single morning.
One last one, Your Honor. I skipped her by accident, page 3, Blackburn.
It's okay.
Blackburn.
Is it Chaston? Chaston?
Yes,
Ms.
sir.
Blackburn, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're also charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. On the gun case, you're facing up to a year and or a $4,000 fine. And on the DWI, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine.
And that's the wrap on this batch. 3 separate cases, 3 separate sets of bond conditions, but one consistent theme running through all of them: alcohol, weapons, and consequences that escalate fast once you're already in the system. If you want to see how any of these cases play out at sentencing, let us know in the comments which one to follow next.
We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, ma'am. Okay.
Officers were conducting an unrelated fatal accident investigation when they observed the defendant's vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed toward the blocked portion of the roadway. Officers saw the defendant disregard a barricade and were able to successfully get the defendant to stop by shouting verbal commands and utilizing their flashlights. Upon contact, officers observed a moderate odor of alcoholic beverage, glassy, watery, bloodshot eyes, and slurred speech. The defendant admitted to having 3 drinks at a nearby bar and was temporarily detained. SFSTs were conducted, 4 out of 6 HGN, 4 out of 8 walk and turn, and 2 out of 4 one-leg stand. DICs were read and breath was consented to. The defendant blew a .086 and a .084. During search of the vehicle, officers located a handgun within the center console. She doesn't have any priors, Judge, and she does have an eligible driver's license.
All right, Ms. Blackburn, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using alcohol or drugs, you will go to jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you have a lawyer, ma'am? Tell me, what do you do for a living?
I've been staying at her mom since I was 21. I just started a part-time job at GB 2 days a week.
Okay, so you're married?
Married.
What does your husband do for a living?
We're in real estate.
Okay, do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
No. I'll have to speak to him and he can try.
So what we'll do is I can give you time.
Okay.
You know, what we normally do is we reset cases for 30 days to give you time to go hire a lawyer. But this is a DWI and there's a lot of timing requirements with the DWI. So don't just sit and wait a month or 2 months because you're only hurting yourself. You need to get on it. You need to get on it quick. Okay, if you have any issues, you can come back and tell us and then we can go from there. Okay? For now, I'll have you go to Ramona sign a reset. We'll get with Felicia for your bond conditions and after that, you'll be free to go. All right?